Hi everyone, I'm Christine Francis and this is Samantha Olson. We're so happy you have joined us here at Roots Tech 2025.
Christine and I have been working together as directors of Youth Family History Discovery Camps, Family Search Center consultants, teachers, and trainers of Temple and Family History. We have created an 8-step guide to help everyone easily get to know their ancestors who are ready to go to the temple and make sure their immediate family has been taken care of as well. As a beginner, I needed a template to repeat on every page I visited. As I grew my skills, I needed to keep my discoveries organized. These 8 steps help keep me on track. As a more advanced genealogist, I have found that using this guide as a foundation to help others allowed for repeatable success. These people are your family who have lived lives, and because of your service, will be receiving access to Jesus Christ by making covenants with him for the first time.
So Heavenly Father has given us so many tools, Samantha hasn't he, to help us along our covenant path. Temple and Family History is a sort of laboratory where we can access Heavenly Father's directing finger. In just a few minutes a day on the phone, we can get to know our ancestors. Who are these people? How can I help them? And how can they help me? How can Jesus Christ help all of us? In 2017, my mother passed away, and my brother and I wanted to preserve her genealogy. I wonder, as I got to know about these ancestors, if she had been busy knocking on the doors in heaven that were her family and asked them, would you like to come to Jesus Christ? I can introduce you to my daughter, Christine. She's on the earth and she can help you. The thought comforts me to know that she is very much alive. And we are both working to gather Israel on either side of the veil. So with this kind of vision of gathering Israel on both sides of the veil, my part became very real to me. But since I'm human, and I was really overwhelmed, kind of like these pictures, with all the amount of information that I felt I needed to know, or some special magical skill I needed to have to even get started. I wish I'd had a very simple guide to fit in my pocket and use on the go. I know that the family members that were taking to the temple, and I wanted to easily identify their immediate family and make sure that they had a chance to be included in making covenants with Jesus Christ.
Anytime you are looking at your family's history, start with prayer. Ask Heavenly Father to help you learn what you need to know and then go and do what he teaches you. Today, we are going to show you how to use this 8-step guide that every member can follow as a tool to minister. We bring soup to help those in need, but that only helps with one meal, one day. That's true. I'm inviting you to be prayerful so you can bring this guide to others, helping them access Heavenly Father's blessings by turning their hearts toward their family. It will also help you learn how to use your family stories to share with your living family. This knowledge of our deceased ancestors' lives increases our desire to be worthy to bring them all to Jesus Christ through his temple. Here's a summary of our instructions. The first 4 questions of the guide. Number 1, what's there? Number 2, what's missing? Number 3, what can you add? And number 4, what questions do you have or tasks to complete? This is the way we flesh out our ancestors. We will have you open your fan and extract as much information as you can using these 4 questions. This will prepare you to use 7 steps for your siblings, children, spouse, and parents. Through this exercise, you'll become confident in your ability to recognize what is on a profile page, and that will help you get to know your ancestors. That knowledge will personalize your experience in the temple with them. We will work on the 8th step in a minute.
So to use your phone effectively, we will be moving between the Family Search app and your Notes app on your phone. You can see by the picture, we've demonstrated how easy it is to float between. So anytime we'll give you directions, and you're welcome to stop the video and make some notes on your Note app. You will be discovering many things about your family on your family search tree. You will need to make short 3-word notes on all these discoveries and the questions they inevitably produce. These observations and questions can kind of just sit on your Notes app, allowing you to stay organized and on task.
So let's get started. We're going to open your phone to the Tree app, seen in this little icon here. We're going to open your Notes app, and we're going to begin a new note and title it Temple and Family History. And then we'd like you to copy down the first 4 steps of our guide. What's there? What's missing? What can you add? And what questions do you have or tasks to complete? We'll demonstrate on the phone now. Let's begin on the fan chart. When you open your Family Search app, you will either see your fan or pedigree chart. In the lower right corner, you will see a small aqua circle with what looks like a belt inside. If you press this, it opens a menu from the bottom of the screen where you can change the number of generations viewed, fan, or pedigree chart. For today's class, please select the fan and populate to 7 generations.
Okay, did it.
Okay. Here we see several ways to sort our ancestors on the fan: birth country, photos, sources, stories, etc. Christine, let's go ahead and select birth country and start working the first 4 steps.
All right, birth country. Here we go.
Okay, what's there?
Okay, what I can see there is a bunch of different colors, and I think that's the birth countries of my family. And if I scroll through, I can see that I'm from the United States in purple, England, Norway, Denmark, Scotland, Canada, Ireland.
So neat.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we notice when we ask what's missing?
So I noticed that there's some empty spots over here in the corner. I think they're from Denmark, actually. And then I can see that there's no first names for some of these people. Pretty much everything else is there.
Okay, so what can you add? What might you be able to work on adding?
I might be able to fill in those white spots, but I don't know how.
Okay, so let's make sure that we write those down in our notes, especially what questions we have, which is
Okay.
how to work on that.
Do you want to take a look at that?
Yes.
Let's look at the notes here. I've made some notes here with the 4 questions to remind me what I'm looking for on each page. And I have some discoveries. I found there's some blank spots and no names on the calendar family. And I have a couple questions when I'm thinking about this, of how do I find those missing people? And I think maybe one of my tasks might be to go to the Family Search Center and get some questions answered.
Great. So after making some notes and some of your discoveries about where your ancestors were born, we can sort our fans by stories and photos.
Okay, let's do that.
So we'll use that same menu.
Okay. Stories.
Stories.
Here we go.
And photos.
And photos. All right.
This can provide easy access in getting to know any ancestor on the fan and diving into the treasure of family stories. Teaching this to those you minister to can help them access their families and turn their hearts towards their ancestors. You might want to make a few notes about what stories and photos you would like to add or read on your own family tree.
Okay, I have a great idea. So on my notes, I'm going to just look under my bed and get some photos and add.
Awesome.
Easy.
So you can add and learn from the fan. You can stop the video and repeat the first 4 steps on each one of those fan sorting tools.
Here they are.
Now let's go to our own profile page. So you'll find yourself in the center circle.
The details here. Okay. Go.
And we'll repeat the first 4 steps. This exercise will help you really learn what the Family Search website can do. In your spare time, you can work on your own page adding any relevant information by clicking the right bottom Aqua Plus button. You can summarize any history into a brief life history on the detail page.
Right there. Okay, I could type, but I'll let you go.
Okay. Step 7 is to repeat these first 4 steps for your spouse and your children, as well as your parents and your siblings.
So I just go to their page?
Yes. So what's there? What's missing? What can you add? And what questions or tasks do you have to complete?
So I might look at my dad's page and see what's there and what's missing. I think it's pretty full, but I might be able to add some memories.
Exactly. Each of these profile pages, you should fill out as much information as you can. Add any sources you can find. Lastly, let's scroll over and show you how to add a memory.
Okay, here's where you find sources by touching that blue awkward button. Let's go to memories.
Okay. There, if you open that little blue plus in the corner, you'll see a menu pop up and you can follow the prompts to add a memory.
Okay, easy.
Pause this video now and you can add a memory on yourself or your family. So up to this point, we have explored and practiced on pages of people we know, and we are now ready for step 8, which will expand this knowledge to an ancestor who is ready to be taken to the temple.
Fantastic.
So you've made an appointment to go to the temple. Now what? From your fan page in Family Search, click on the lower center icon labeled Temple.
There it is.
This opens your temple reservations list, and you may or may not see family names listed here. If not, the temple will go ahead and populate a name for you from your family by clicking on the Ordinance Ready blue button at the bottom, and then we'll select an endowment. And here's where you can get to know your ancestor who is ready to be taken to the temple. Okay, so we're going to click View People. And we have found Margaret. All right, so let's find out more about Margaret.
Here's her personal profile page.
Okay. The top right 3 dots on Margaret's profile page will open a drop-down menu. And the first thing you'll see is View My Relationship. So you can see how you're related to this ancestor.
Okay, I'll press on that. And it looks like she's my 4th cousin, twice removed.
Great.
And you can see some other things, right? On
Yes.
those dots. You can search records. You can do all sorts of things.
Okay, so now we'll work our first 4 steps on Margaret's profile page. We'll start with what's there.
Margaret Grace Stewart, and Stewart's her maiden name, it looks like. And she's born on 11th July 1900. And I think she's born in Pennsylvania, and there's a cool map. You can check it out where exactly. I see quickly that there's something missing, and that's her deceased.
Yes, I see that.
She's also single, according to this, and here's a bunch of sources on her. So we find out that down here at the bottom, in 1910, she lived in probably the same place she was born in, lived there in 1920, and in 1930 they moved to Columbiana, Ohio. But I'm going to open these sources one at a time.
Okay.
For now, we'll just open the first one here under sources, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's check out these. What's really cool about looking at all the sources and looking deeper, viewing image, you have a summary here in the indexing version. She's 9 months old. She's living with her mom and dad. And let's here in view image, if you actually open that up, you can get a lot more of her story. You can learn a lot more about her. So here we have cool things here. We have her family. Her father's John H., right? And her mother is Sadie, for short for Sarah, and her there. They're living next door to somebody named Stewart, so it's probably a family member, so we can learn more about their family by looking. We can find out what her dad did for a living by scrolling across here and seeing that he was a farm laborer living next to a farmer, so he's probably working with one of his relatives. I assume it's her father. So we go back here, then we go to her parents. Well, spouses. We knew she was single, no spouses. That means there's no children. That means we can't bring a husband and children. So we got to do a little more research to see if she was married. We see her parents, John Hayes, Sadie, short for Sarah. And she has a sister here. We can look at all those people and learn more about them.
Great. So let's make some notes on your
Okay.
discoveries.
Let's do that. So we'll go over to the notes thing. And I made some notes here on Grace. And this is her PID number so that I can keep track of her.
Mm-hmm.
She's also my fourth cousin, twice removed. And she was born, I said all that. She's single and didn't have children, at least so far that we know. Her dad was John Hayes, and probably a farmer, and lived next door to her grandfather, we find out. Her mother was named Sarah, and there's some things that are missing that I need to make tasks of. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy all my notes now. So if I can do that here, select these, and I'm going to come down here and just select just some more information about her. And copy. Then I can do some fun things over here in Family Search. I can add a brief life history on her.
Great.
Then what do we do with that brief life history?
So the great thing about adding a brief life history to your ancestor is you can transfer that to the back of your ordinance card. And you can take a person that you've now gotten to know using our steps. You can take them to the temple.
Okay.
An interesting thing about Margaret that we notice is the presence of a little blue bubble next to her name in the little top left corner. This indicates that Family Search has found a hint that more information might be available on this ancestor. And so we're going to go ahead and take a look at what we can find out through this hint.
I see it says a find a grave index. But what's interesting, if I click on that, you can kind of start thinking about, could this possibly be your person? What's really fun about it is that there's another name added to Margaret. And it could possibly mean that that's her husband's name and that's her married name. It lines up, if you compare and hit compare, you can see on the left-hand side what the source says, the hint says, and then on the right is what your family tree says in Family Search. So you can start doing comparison. There's different, but it's close enough, particularly the fact that it has the exact same birth date. It shows a death date for her and that she had this at least Find a Grave source said she died in the same place we found her in 1940.
Okay.
So there's a really good chance this could be it. And that's super exciting because now what do we get to do if we add that source?
So when we work the 4 steps with a hint like this, it becomes an opportunity to research a little bit more. And this might lead us to a husband and children. And with each person we do this, we cast the ordinances ready net. So we can possibly take an entire family and seal them in the temple.
So I'm going to add those as tasks to my notes and go get them all researched. That will be fun.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, it really is exciting.
So the next step you'd like to do is you want to check Margaret's immediate family members to make sure they have their ordinances done as well. Since there's no spouse listed yet, and we haven't finished that hint, we are going to click over to her parents and siblings to make sure their ordinances are complete.
Okay, so it's easy to check to make sure their ordinances are done. So John, we're going to go to his. We're going to scroll over to ordinances, and we can see how his work is already done, which is fantastic. Let's check her mom. Make sure, scroll over ordinances, and her mom has her work done. Everything's been done on these two, so they're caught in the net. Now, sister Adele, let's make sure she has ordinances done. And it looks like she has some endowments and sealing to parents and sealing to her spouse, which is listed right here. So those are reserved and they're going to be taken care of. So the whole family. And I can repeat the 4 steps on each one of those people to get to know them better as I take them to the temple.
When we work all of the steps in our guide for each immediate family member, we can be sure to catch everyone in the ordinance's ready net.
Okay, to summarize, we showed you how to use the Universal Guide in 8 easy steps in real time. We encourage you to show these 8 steps to the people you minister to your family, to a friend, a neighbor, to those that may have a calling in temple and family history. You can use it as a guide for consulting in the Family Search Center to help patrons and even newbie genealogists have a repeatable method in their discovery. It's also simple to help the new converts and bring them to the temple with their own family names to make the same covenants with people they know.
Yeah.
It's very sentimental and sweet and wonderful. Use this 8-step guide, universal guide, on every page you visit in your family history journey. It can be used every time you sit down with FamilySearch.org or any other family history website you visit on every page. It will help you to organize your discoveries and simplify the direction of your search. You can use it to paint a portrait of your ancestors you are learning about. You can open the app very quickly and learn about what Heavenly Father wants you to learn and go share it with someone else. And all in just a few minutes a day at the doctor's or even maybe at the pickup line when you're waiting for your kids. We have included the handouts in a list of ways you can help others using this guide. These ancestors have something to share with you, and you can share what you are learning about your family to turn everybody's hearts to Heavenly Father and His Son, Jesus Christ. You will see His merciful hand in your family's lives, currently and your extended ancestors, which will help you all turn your hearts to Heavenly Father and make your temple's experience more meaningful into this living, eternal nature. And it's all done on the phone in between life. Hey, thanks for letting us have some time with you and showing you how easy it is to flesh out your ancestors and take them to the temple.
Thank you.